And the problem there was, with everybody moving, Max can't get a kill anymore. But how do I know that Max is going to go last that turn order? So, it was really bad. Just really, really bad. But like I say, like right here, once all these people join, they're joined. So like, if we could theoretically get out of town in less than 30 seconds from this point, it would be faster than going up and talking to the king. But it's so hard to say with the blonde guy. It's something we have to go over as designers. Any numbers used so far as placeholders. Oh yeah. Oh, everything is always a placeholder. Names are placeholders. Any of the battles are just rough sketches. I mean, that's the idea. A lot of stuff is placeholders until, you know, it's when you're working on a project like this, there's so many moving parts that you need, everything has to be designed around being flexible. Then, you know, a lot of stuff that is often thought of and even implemented early doesn't make the cut later on. That's why you can look at a lot of like raw game footage to see enemies or designs that aren't in the final product. Not to mention in like Shining Force 2, you've got the whole debug mode that was put in for testing purposes that never got taken out. So I mean, a lot of stuff is placeholders. You know, in terms of like stats and whatnot, a lot of that stuff I haven't even put anything in yet, other than some generic starting stats that can be easily changed, since the numbers that I was coming up with were, as I explained in the post, for a purpose, basically. Not so much to have a rigid, like, we have to start with these stats. It was designed for like certain enemies to be killed in 2 hits, other enemies to be killed in 1 hit. Or like kill in 1 hit. Oh, what? What? Load is crit for 7 damage. Why are we using low? What? All of my what right now? What's up, Zephyr? How are you doing, hun? How did your late night drawing session go? I saw it on Twitch. I didn't have a chance to check it out because I was busy doing my own thing, but were you drawing anything specific or just like anything else? Which stats use and why under the rule of it can't be from Shining Force? Well, unless you want to come up with creative names that basically are the same things, there's a lot stuff that's not from Shining Force. It's just kind of there because it's just how things work. Like, there's only so many ways to describe attack other than just attack. Which is why a lot of the stat changes that I kind of put in and talked about make it work that way, because then they're different enough, and that's ultimately what it comes down to, is being different enough. Because the thing is, if you're working on a game that, I mean, basically, if you're working on a game, you're going to have ideas that are like, look like they could be from other games, because that's just how games are at this point. You know, there's not like a unique niche of, oh, this is super unique and only like done like this, or vice versa, stuff like that. But I know what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, like, I'm not going off saying that we can't. I'm just saying there is some room for what would be considered kind of I guess you'd say, almost call it public domain, because it's like, because so much of it is just out there now. Like, there's a lot of games that involve stats like this and involve gaining experience from attacking things. You know, Shining Force isn't the only one. That's good. Okay. Did Luke get attacked? He did get attacked. Okay. Luke might die. Yeah, Luke is really dead. Exactly. And that's why I was even going to introduce the banking system. Because that would actually be a unique feature. As well as making the max experience. You can get like 45 to keep it further. You know, so there's a gray area of what's acceptable, and there's the not acceptable area. And, like, obviously the game is going to be inspired. There's not going to be any secret from that the game isn't inspired from Shining Force. Which is why we just, you know, everything ultimately comes back to being careful. Well, see, and so, okay, so, like, that's why I already had talked about the idea of bringing up subcategories of stats, introducing new stats. Like I said, a lot of this stuff we've already kind of talked about, and if you can look at it, it's kind of explained in the Excel doc, but I did upload a Word doc earlier that kind of goes over how some of those changes are made to keep it like, but different enough. So there's another stat that's added. Those are broken down into different categories, and, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with using the word attack. If you're attacking something, then that's what you're doing, is you're attacking it. Like, that's not copyrighted. You know, to introduce stuff like Constitution, Fortitude, Wisdom, Charisma, then I think you get into this real sketchy territory, not only of being too much like D&D, but then it's like, it just gets really, I think it gets too far away from the original idea. Nah, see, there you go. There you go. Don't worry about copyright infringement on stats. I'm going to assume that Talros is a attorney that specializes in copyright law. And everything that he says can be taken without 0 grains of salt. We're gonna go ahead and leave that for Ken. Zephyr, did you get a chance to see some of the enemies that I posted? Not a disclaimer. Okay. No, that's okay, Tauros. That was just literally joking. Do you know what a cobra lily is? If you don't, I recommend Googling it. It's kind of a really cool looking plant. I kind of assumed that everybody was okay with that. Like, I haven't heard anyone say, no, I don't want to use those stats. Oh, okay. It's nothing really all that difficult. They're basic creatures, really. But I think there's some room for some creative juices. If you get what I drift. Yes. Yes, Tauros, that is what we're discussing. Cobra Lily. Oh, we got 3 attack. Sounds like an anti-poison root. No, not an anti-poison root. It's one of the few species of carnivorous plants, like a Venus flytrap. But it's, instead of having the mouth thing, it's like a tube-shaped plant. Go ahead and hit this. Ken can then kill it. She's running desperately low on magic points. Oh my god, these turn orders. This is what I'm talking about. These turn, like, we have gotten attacked by every goblin that's had an opportunity. A game design document. Well, that's what we're working on. See, because a lot of this stuff we've already. It's been a lot of open discussion, so we're in the process of kind of developing. Okay, so. Turn orders, once again, being really unfriendly. Max is already incredibly low because he's been attacked so many flipping times. We could legitimately die right here because the dark dwarves already moved. Okay, yeah, I'm probably just dead. My entire team just outturned all the dark dwarves after being completely outturned by the dark dwarves. This is really, really dangerous. Alright. Guess I'll go ahead and hit this with Ken. Oh my god. Holy crap, these turn orders. I mean, we have 3 people, and I'm willing to lose time on this split because this has been such a terrible battle. So to answer your question, we're working on that. That's what I'm working on right now. Is I'm working on a doc that has all of that stuff, Tauros. It's work in progress because, you know, working 5 days a week and going to school. Wow, we're seriously losing time still. So this Friday, late Friday, yeah, that would be fine. And like I said, I would like to invite all the core people, because this, like what you're talking about wanting to do, this is something that I think everyone should be involved in to get their perspectives on it. I don't think this is something that needs to be an exclusive two-man group, because it's a lot bigger and it's a lot trickier than what two people should try to discuss. I think everyone should have their say. So we're gonna lose time because Ken just has to hit this Rune Knight until it dies, because Max is too low. He can't get hit by the Dark Dwarf. The plus side here is that Max is very well off, and we'll probably be able to save time on the next split. Well, I think we're having a chat right now, though. Like, everyone is, even yourself included, are okay using those stats, so, like, that's why I said, like, I don't know what else you want to really talk about. It sounds too secretive for me. I don't want to be secretive. I think everything should be open. That's why I'm continuously posting things so that everyone can see where I'm going, and if what I'm doing they don't like, then you know that's the idea. It's a continuous process. Obviously not everyone's involved, but feedback is really important. 2 to 3 different systems? Nah, I don't think that's totally necessary at all, dude. Come up with 2 to 3 different systems. I think it would be way better to present one working system. And if that sounds good, then we go for it. And if that's not, if it's okay, then we try to then we tweak it. It would take longer to have 2 to 3 different systems than it would to just have one system that's tweakable. For instance, we present the system that I've already presented. You know, the attack, defense, the agility, all that broken down the way that I've broken it down. And if everybody's okay with that, then we're good. If we're not okay with that, the system is very tweakable. It doesn't. You don't have to have 2 to 3 different systems. If you're just talking about 2 to 3 different like naming solutions, that's an entirely different story, and that's still not really that hard. You know, but like Tauro said, there's no reason to reinvent the word apple. Just call it an apple. What's up, Jay Grease? Yeah, it's been a week. I'm hoping that I'll get back to doing regular streaming again soon. I've gotten through all of my clinicals, so my free time, like I'm not going to be losing full days anymore to clinicals. I'll just be losing full days to work and to class. So I'll have time. I'm hoping I can get back to doing more weekend streams besides just Sundays. Getting Saturdays and Fridays back in. Probably doing like casual Fridays, I'm thinking. Alright, Max has 62 experience.